this is somewhat not new. I think we've already talked about this as fifth graders, sixth graders, or whatever. We are talking about classifying triangles. And there are two ways that you can classify triangles. Do you know what they are? Either you can classify triangles by their angles, or you can classify triangles by their sides. You probably could do both, but the book will ask you to pick one. So what, if we're looking at angles, the three cases you'll run across is, case number one, they have no equal angles, which would mean it looks a little like this side, and then that side, and then this side. Anybody remember out there, no equal side triangle is called? Scalene, I only ask you because it rhymes with your name.
Scalene.
Yes, Scalene. It's right. Scalene. Wait, now I don't know how to spell it. Wait, how do you spell scalene? With a C, right? Scalene. So no equal sides is scalene. Case number two, it has two equal sides, which means it would look something maybe like this. By the way, a lot of times the book will show equal sides by putting, if two sides have dashes in them, that means you should know that they're equal. And if it has two equal sides in it, I'm trying to see if anybody else's name runs with that. I'm trying to find a name that rhymes with that. Anybody name come close to rhyming with that?
Pericles.
Pericles, no. Logan, it is.
Isosceles.
It is isosceles. Did I spell that right? Isosceles. And then the last case obviously would be all equal sides, or three equal sides. And that would be a triangle that looks a little like this. Caleb, an all equal side triangle is? Key is this right here, starts with this. I'll fill in the blanks. Equilateral. You hate triangles? Equilateral has all three, isosceles just two, scalene none. Got that? Did I get that right? I'm starting to kind of these are backwards. Did you tell me that? Were you thinking that? Okay. This, let's cross off the word angles and put sides here.
Okay.
That's what happens when apparently I've lost focus. Maybe when the music starts. I wish somebody would have said that way before I got this far. But it's still my fault. No excuses. Now we'll go to angles. I caught it before we actually got the question. Oh boy. Case number one with the angles. If they have all acute angles, it's going to be hard. All acute angles, which would look something like this. It doesn't have to have equal sides. All acute angles would be what? No, it's hard. David, what do you think? Take a guess. All acute angles. It's a, let's just go with the acute triangle. Scalene, do I have that right now? Does that sound right? Right. What else is there? Who? Oh, there is. If it has one obtuse angle in it. One obtuse, because you can only have one obtuse angle in it. One obtuse is called an obtuse triangle. And what's the last case left? Listen to Alex. If it has a right angle in it, it's a right triangle. One right angle. Why can a triangle not have more than one right angle in it? Anybody? Oh, I think I got that right. Brooke Calla?
Because then it would form a triangle.
Yeah, but how do I know that? What would be your logical reasoning mathematically why it's impossible for the triangle to have two right angles in it? Ryan?
So to have two right angles, you need three sides.
But the triangle has three sides.
But you can't form it together.
But why not?
So you need a fourth side.
Logan?
With four right angles, it makes well, right angles can't make up a triangle. They only make up a square.
But you have to prove to me why they can't.
I draw.
Here's why. Triangles have 180 degrees when their angles are all added together. So let's say I've got this triangle here. Let's say it's an equilateral triangle, which means it's this. It is also an acute triangle, and all of its angles are 60 degrees. 3 times 60 is 180 degrees. If you had two angles that were both 90 degrees, that already is 180 degrees, leaving no degrees left for the third side. Triangles can't have more than 180 degrees because the definition of a triangle is 180 degrees. So if you had a triangle that looked like this, if you know that this is 20 degrees, and you know that this is 60 degrees, how big would this angle have to be? If it has to add up to 180, every triangle inside angles add up to 180, Landon, it is
100 degrees.
100 degrees. Just like, here's a little known fact, you know that every quadrilateral, every four-sided shape, has to equal 360 degrees inside? Well, you got square corners. 4 90-degree angles gives you 360, but it doesn't have to be. If you had a parallelogram, and you knew that this was 60 degrees, and this was 120 degrees, and this is 60 degrees, you could figure out this one because they have to add up to 360. No matter what the quadrilateral is, even if it's one of these goofy looking shapes like this, 4 angles have to add up to. Did we just talk about turns? Did we talk about turns?
Yes.
Same reason as this. If you were walking and you turned here, and you turned here, and you turned here, you end up facing back the same way. That would be 300 somewhat 60 degrees. All right, question for you. Practice letter B says an equilateral triangle is also an acute triangle. Is that true or false? An equilateral triangle is also an acute triangle. True or false? Why or why not? Let's look at equilateral. Has to have 3 equal sides. Has to be an acute triangle or no? Maggie?
Who does it have? Already.
Logan?
Yes.
It has to be. Listen to me, the only way for a triangle to be equilateral is for it to have all 60-degree sides. There's no other option, no matter how big or how small the equilateral triangle is, this equilateral triangle and this equilateral triangle, still 60 degrees. No matter how big or how small you draw your equilateral triangle, they have to be 60 degrees. 3 equal sides, 3 equal angles, all 60 degrees. So that one would have to be true. What about letter C? All acute triangles are equilateral triangles. True or false? All acute triangles are equilateral triangles. Brooke, yeah, because you could have a triangle that looks like this. Those are all acute angles, but this certainly isn't equilateral. How about letter D? 2 sides of a triangle measure 3 inches and 4 inches. If the perimeter is 10 inches, what type of triangle is it? 2 sides of a triangle measure 3 inches and 4 inches. If the perimeter is 10 inches, what type of triangle is that? Now you would have to, Sammy Ballinger, start by doing what on this one? You need to sketch this one out, right? I've got 3 inches and 4 inches, and it says its perimeter is 10 inches. You need to know what that fourth side is before you talk about what type of triangle it is. What is that fourth side? What does this have to be? Alex?
3 inches.
3 inches. So what type of triangle is it?
Isosceles.
It's an isosceles triangle. Isosceles triangle. How about every right triangle is a scalene triangle, true or false? If something has a right angle in it, does it have to be scalene, yes or no? In other words, can you draw a right triangle that is not scalene? Here's a right triangle. If this side and this side are equal, can you draw a right triangle that's not scalene? Yeah, that's isosceles. Enough of that. All right, your assignment.